Hello everyone, we are Group 45. We work together for the project security in mobile applications. Firstly, we begin by background and motivation. Mobile applications are software for different purposes, which used by person or company on mobile devices such as mobile phone. The security of mobile applications means measures that protect mobile applications from attackers. Why should we do this research? Because so many people use. From LoRa's report on 2018, more than 5 billion people on the world own smartphones, and they use mobile applications for their daily life. The mobile applications are multifunctional and significant. For example, people could use them to manage their bank account, buy items from online shop, and even work and manage their company. So it is important for them to protect their private information, their wealth, and reputations. But the security design is not an easy work. It contains different measures and different sections. So it is important for us to find a way to have an efficient security design. Our group aims to compare and analyze several security design and make security suggestions. Secondly, we will talk about attack analysis. If we know what attackers think and how they do, we could defend our system efficiently. Attack target contains three kinds of mobile application. For web applications such as Gmail, all the information stored in the service. And for hybrid applications such as remote POS, the data and the software stored in not only service but also clients. And for native applications such as camera, all the information stored in the native devices. Attackers want to get the information right of access and provide use, so we should think about CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Attackers mainly attack 2 points. Data storage. It contains key database document and code storage. Another one is data transformation. It especially happened in transport layer, and we should protect, communicate with clients and service. Attack mode has mainly two ways. Application vulnerability. It means the attacker could insert their code into application and do something they want. Designers should try their best to make the number of vulnerability as less as they can. Another one is malicious application. It pretends to be a valid application, and if user use it, the attackers could attack the system. But we should point that there are still many unexpected attack points and modes.
Next, I will discuss our research result on the security of the network connection. There are many ways to secure the network connection, such as containerization, which is a method of create-encrypt containers for securely storing your data and documents. Database encryption and encrypt connection with a VPN are also feasible solutions. However, the main content of our research is the transport layer protection. When a mobile application is designed, the data is exchanged in a cleaned server fashion. When this data is transferred, it can traverse both a carrier network and the internet. Threat agent may use technique to view this sensitive data while it is a mode of travel, which cause insufficient transport layer protection. In general, threat agents include an adversary that shares your local network, compromise or monitored Wi-Fi, carrier or network devices, malware on the mobile devices, and hackers. To find out if the application has sufficient transport layer protection, we can check that if the SSL certificates in date and self-signed, if all connections are properly encrypted, and if the SSL cipher strength is high enough. To prevent inefficient transport layer protection, we can apply SSL and TLS to transport channels that the mobile app will use transmit sensitive information, session tokens, or other sensitive data to a backend API or web service. At the same time, use certificates signed by a trusted CA provider and always require SSL chain verification, and only establish a secure connection after verifying the identity of the endpoint server. Use trusted certificates in a keychain. On this issue, iOS and Android each have their own special way to deal with it. For iOS, we can use certificate pinning. Use the NSURL method connection by exporting your certificate. Include it in your app bundle, and anchor it into your trust object. After development, ensure all NSURL calls do not allow self-signed or invalid certificates. For Android, we can remove all code after development cycle that may enable the application to accept all certificates.
When talking about security issues when developing mobile applications, there are various data we need to keep in mind. Here we categorize them into mainly 4 groups. First one is the code data, which mainly has the algorithms and logics. And second one is the local data, which stores keys, archives, and offline backups. And then the network data, which has the communication protocols, clouds, and online backups. And the last one is the business data, which stores transactions and other business information. Among all this data, key is one of the most important information need to be encrypted to secure mobile application use. Here we introduce some key algorithms in 4 aspects. The first one is the confidentiality algorithm. We recommend to use the AES-256 rather than the DES. Though both are block ciphers, the insufficient key size of the DES is vulnerable to the brute force attack. And then, the integrity algorithm. The recommended algorithms are SHA-256 and SHA-384. The unrecommended one is the SHA-1. All of them are using the hash functions, but the key size of the SHA-1 is vulnerable to the collision search attack. Next, the digital signature algorithm. The RSA, which has 3072 bits or more key size long, is recommended, and the SHA-1 is also considered outdated with the same reason. The last algorithm is the key establishment algorithm. We also use RSA algorithm as digital signature using, and the unrecommended one is the DH, which is known as Diffie-Hellman because of its vulnerability to the man-in-the-middle attack.
For application developers, one important approach to keep apps secure is vulnerability detection. There are 2 basic methods for detecting vulnerability, the static method and the dynamic method. The static methods aim to track the source code of your app without running it. It can use different algorithms to trace the taints in the code. As the method does not require running the app, it takes up less resources when testing. However, if the source code is encrypted, this method will be useless. The dynamic method requires running the app either in the sandbox or in a real environment. It will simulate different kinds of attacks. The result is more reliable because it can find out how the app behaves under these attacks. But this method cannot cover all kinds of attacks which the attackers would use. In reality, it is impossible for all developing teams to generate their own vulnerability detecting system. So there are many kinds of detection apps which are available. Here are some most commonly used and open source ones. The first is the Z-Attack Proxy. This app mainly uses dynamic methods. It supports both Android and iOS platform as well as Windows. It is easy to install and use, and is also great for manual testing. But this app may do some damage for testing environment. Another commonly used one is Joser. It mainly uses static methods. This app supports only the Android platform. It can provide solutions in all areas of cybersecurity and can also be extended to find more problems. But the app does not have a UI design, so it is relatively hard to use. The next one is Mobile Security Framework. It uses both static and dynamic methods, and it can support Android, iOS, and Windows platform. The data will always run in local without using any cloud data. It also supports web API security, but it's not providing any solution for vulnerability.